Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Danae, and I'm here with a message for you. At the bottom of the deck, pardon me, we have the star card. Now, I shuffled these cards profusely last night and left them here, so this has been the card that was on the bottom of the deck since my extreme shuffling. Today, as I was about to get ready to go, well, two synchronicities I want to share. The first one is that my son drew my attention to his level up in his game, and he said, "Look, Mom, I'm on level 44 now." And of course, I immediately connected to the synchronicity of that number. 44 is the number of self-reliance, stability, and strength. And doubled up is just like a reassurance of your success and independence. So that was the first. And then when I came into the room to actually prepare to do my reading, my phone time was exactly 4:44. So not yet a double up, but a triple up. And 4:44 is a number of love and wholeness. And it says that your connection with the angels and the angelic realm is powerful, and basically that you can trust the guidance that you're receiving at this time. And then here we are with the star card, which again, it was here since last night, but I hadn't really connected to it until I came in to do the reading. I didn't really remember from last night, but the star card is here, which is exemplary of all of that and more, of your independence, of your success, of your connection to the angelic realms, that you're being guided in spirit and in truth, and you can trust your guidance, therefore you can trust yourself. And I just think that that's just a wonderful correlation and way to start the message. And then there's one more thing I want to share. Today I was arranging some sunflowers. Now, I didn't get these sunflowers from the market, which in my experience are a little bit more tame and uniformed and such. You can usually just kind of chop them and place them. I got these directly from a garden nearby. There's a church on the corner from me, a Catholic church, and I ran into the father today, and I was bold enough to ask him if I would be able to take a few sunflowers from their garden, because last summer I actually watched them bloom and nobody ever took any. They just ended up dying, and I never got a chance to ask. But this year was the first time I actually had made the father's acquaintance one time walking by. And he was so gracious, of course, to say, "Yeah, sure, no problem. Yeah, no problem at all," which, made my day, essentially. As hot as it was moving to and fro, I was so excited to get back in and arrange them, because flowers just bring me so much joy, and sunflowers, no doubt. So I started to arrange them, and to my surprise, they were very unruly. It wasn't an easy task at all. I ended up having to actually eliminate most of the leaves, which I wanted to fill, the foliage or whatever. But I ended up having to do a lot of manipulation, and really at some point in time, I had to just let them be, because they weren't having it. And it was only 3 of them that I ended up bearing down to, because there were other ones that weren't quite full bloomed yet, but I wanted this full bouquet. And I ended up scaling from one big vase to a small glass cup, even, to I just wanted the essence of these beautiful flowers. But the way that I was trying to manipulate them and arrange them was just not in agreement with how they wanted to be arranged. So, of course, as all things, there's synchronicity in that as well. And I think it speaks to the essence of us as spiritual beings, as stars in this sphere, in our human existence. Like, we're all so unique, almost wildflowers in a sense of the divine. And we often don't really conform into the manipulations of society without it being, a great stress and a strain on our natural organic selves. Just like those flowers, they One wanted to go this way, one wanted to go that way. I wanted them to face forward. In the end, we came to a healthy compromise for my liking, but ultimately it still wasn't what I would have desired. But the flowers are watered and they're nurtured and they're in a safe space and they're bringing beauty to my space, no less, even in their uniqueness and their stubbornness. So I think the point of all of that is just to really, especially it also being Leo season, which is synonymous with that flower in itself, it's just another encouragement to just let your light shine. Don't try to manipulate yourself into any particular submission, especially by societal standards right now. Really let your light shine uniquely, whatever gifts or talents or even words or whatever creativity you have to express at this time. Let it be. Let it go freely, without any inhibitions, without any worry of reception or understanding, rejection, with no fear whatsoever, as a Leo lion teaches us to be, courageously, a courageous exhibitionist in a sense, that is completely confident in what they have to offer. And 9 times out of 10, it ends up touching somebody in a spectacular way, in ways that you didn't even think that it would, just because you had the courage to express it and exhibit it and share it. So be a wildflower in this season, if nothing else. This is your time. Leo gives us that right to shine from now until, Virgo season is on the horizon, when we start judging ourselves all over again, or trying to be perfect in our presentation. But now is the time to just let it be a dress rehearsal, if nothing else, and just allow yourself to be expressive in every creative way possible. All right, so let's see what we got here today. By way of the star as the leading card, what's the message today? Spirit, thank you for the synchronicities and signs and signals that we are on the right track. Oh, and there we go with the Ace of Cups. Definitely an overflow, and that's the overflow of creativity, creative force by way of the love energy. I'm even starting to sweat right now. That's a synchronicity. I don't even know why. It's just strange. I just started sweating out of nowhere. But we gonna rock with it. Yeah, creativity in this new journey, and this is the freshness that I'm speaking of. How you're experiencing yourself in a new way, maybe actually experiencing some new talent or creative expression, or connecting to it in a way that you haven't before, almost like recognizing yourself in the mirror for the first time, like, wow, this is me. I can really do that. I'm really good at this. I really make a difference or make an impact when I'm doing this or that. And it's an action-oriented card. And this speaks that there actually may be a new opportunity to be expressive in some matter, in which either brings a overflow of spiritual fulfillment, or releases the flow within you in that regard. Something that is just completely bubbling over with joy and peace and prosperity and, all the goodness of life. This is something that may be new to you, or you new to it. Let's see. I like it. I like it a lot. Wow, look at that. We got the yes, come through, Spirit. Thank you for these positive messages today. I hope the cards are a little bit straight, because I think I knocked my incense out of balance. Yeah, we got the Chariot card and the Empress card. I love it. I absolutely love it. That's moving forward in a victorious way. That is being, very fruitful in everything that you endeavor. That's being very fertile as well in the physical sense. Jonathan, whatever you're doing, stop it, please. playing his game. He gets nutty. He's trying not to yell, which I appreciate, but he's banging on something and it's distracting me. Anyway, maybe being a good mom. The Empress card is definitely representative of a mother energy or some nurturing essence of a feminine that's also in an exalted position of power. So moving forward successfully and into some new seated position of authority or power. And this is the Four of Pentacles. I'm going to see that right now as being conservative about your energy, even on this come up or this elevation or transcendence or ascension, whatever it is that's being experienced here. This, I'll say, double duty to be wary of those that maybe wanted to hold on to you, maybe even hold you down, because he's like holding down all these coins. But also on the highest vibration, which all of this is definitely giving me, is saying to just be conservative about your energy, your resources, and not in a scarcity sense, but just continuing to be as wise with your time, your money, your attention, your investments, just as you were on your way to this position. Now, as you are obviously coming to some, I dare not say plateau as if there isn't farther to go, but as you're arriving in some magnificent way, continue to hold fast to those ideals that more or less have put you in a positive position to be here. Not the old ideals where this is like more scarcity and materialistic nature and obsession and possession, but the ideals of, again, conserving your dynamic force and being very protective of it, even conserving it and reserving it for only the things that are matching in alignment with the vibration that you are emitting. Okay, good stuff. Next. What messages do you have for us next? Spirit. That kind of popped in and out. I'm not going to take it. But that was the Four of Wands. Partnership, union of a stable nature after overcoming some great difficulty. Oh, and I saw that too, and I was like, I saw it, just caught my eye, but then here it is. That's the Ace of Pentacles. Need I really say more? The biggest seed you can possibly get. And here's that new journey that, this is a new beginning. Maybe this is you venturing out into this new abundance, this new position, this new independence, expressing these new gifts, and you're doing it in such a faithful way that it's you don't really necessarily know all that you need to know for what you're about to embark upon, but the joy is in the journey itself and the opportunity and the invitation to the journey. So maybe perhaps not even necessarily having this great pentacle in hand, in possession just yet, but being a yes to that invitation, as in the Page of Wands, where it's a new terrain to explore. Maybe something unlike you've experienced before. Maybe you've been a queen all this time, and now here you are in Empress status, having mastered all the aspects of your queenship. You've incurred, as in that Four of Wands card, you've incurred many challenges and charges and faced many tests. Perhaps life experience itself is what has given you the wisdom to elevate in and let's not forget, the Star card was our leading card, so to elevate in a very celestial way, and in a way that makes you stand out. And maybe that in itself is the new journey. You know, it's a new experience that you've never had before, and that you just get to take your faith pack light as the Fool does. And you know, it's starting from zero almost, but it's starting from zero because it's a territory that is uncharted, you know, even for you. Oh, and that makes sense with the Star card, because it's you following your destiny. You're determined to follow your destiny when the Star card comes out. You have incurred some great healing, and that's on account of the experiences that you've had. You've overcome much. You've healed much. You are recognizing yourself in a new light and not being afraid to express that light wholeheartedly on account of what that North Node. If you're not particularly acquainted with your birth chart, I would encourage that you do and see what your North Node sign is. You know, whether it's something that you are already in connection with and in moving in the way of. Hopefully you are, but if not, your North Node sign basically is an indicator of what your focus and objective more or less is in this life, depending on the essence of that sign. You know, for instance, mine is Cancer. I don't know if I should be sharing that, but I feel guided to do so. My North Node is Cancer, so I'm encouraged to really be in this motherly state, as a matter of fact, and dig into my emotional intelligence and psychic intel, and, you know, just being very intuitive in my nature is what I've been called to, you know, and I didn't always know that, but I kind of always knew that. I kind of always did that in some small way even. And now, and then when I discovered it, it was something that I was encouraged by, because it pretty much gives you the disparity between your South Node, which is what you're pulling away from, and your North Node, which is what you should be focused and objective toward, you know. And that doesn't necessarily mean that it tells you exactly what you're destined to do, but it gives you an idea of the essence of your calling, in a sense, and also allows you to kind of gauge whether or not you're already moving in that vibration, and will give you some guidelines on, you know, how you can do that. And 9 times out of 10, I like to insert here as well, just like those wildflowers, when we're doing what's most natural to us, you know, what we feel almost, you know, passionate about organically, that usually is the North Node. You know, it's how we allow ourselves to be skewed by society and by our experiences or influences more so than anything, that kind of veers us off of that natural path. But the thing that we feel most divinely called to, you'll probably see, and it's sometimes the thing that we reject or resist for being almost too primitive or too easy, too, you know, like that can't be the answer. You know, the thing that makes me most happy, it can't be that. You know what I mean? Most times, that's the very thing that is calling you to yourself. You know, so this is the new journey, and I'm going to say the new journey is perhaps just being wealthy and in charge, you know what I mean, and being in love, even perhaps with the Ace of Cups here, the Ace of Pentacles, to be in your independence in a way that you never have before. Some may not have ever felt that before, to be so secure and stable even in your financial status and your creative endeavors and your relationships. It may be altogether new territory and new terrain, and you get to pack light and be ready to explore and experience the journey accordingly. The Fool is one that's just willing. He may walk off that cliff. He may not even realize the cliff is ending, you know, but he's so secure. There it is again. He's so secure in the guidance that he's receiving from an ethereal perspective and intel, that he'll take that walk faithfully, you know, believing that something's going to catch him on the other end. Let's see what else we got here. All right. Oh, and this is that queen. This is the Cancer energy I was talking about, the Queen of Cups, who, you know, is very, that's the love energy as well, very nurturing, very loving. She's intuitive, she's emotionally connected. She is one that is absolutely guided by her intuitive intel or angelic force or the angelic realm. She taps into that from the inside out, however you choose to see it. That's her, you know what I mean? So this is a great a great progression here, and that's the way to not only attaining this new level of prominence, it's also the way to maintaining it, you know, to really stand in tune, tapped in, so to speak, with your spirit and how that spiritual essence aligns with your material experience. And here, what this card gives me is, in one sense, the opposite of one that is in tune and tapped in from an intuitive space. This is like mental exhaustion when you're trying to overthink your way through everything, you know. So maybe that's the caution in one regard, to, you know, put your mind at ease. Don't try to like logisticalize every step of the journey at this point, because just like that Fool, you may not know everything that's ahead. You may not even have all the resources that you think you need to move forward. You know, you may not necessarily know where the road leads, but to, you know, stress yourself out, for lack of better terms, over what's, you know, the unknown it's just useless energy, you know, energy not well spent. You know, it's expended in a very frivolous way to feel like you have to know all the answers in this journey that we're experiencing. When you can relent to your intuition and trust, you know, from that 44 and that 444, that star energy, you can trust the guidance that you submit to and that you connect to. You don't have to know everything. And you can, on the octave of this card, be in a willful state of rest and prayer and meditation, meaning that you rest on the sword of truth, knowing that wherever you're being guided, it's, you know, it's in the way of truth, because you are in the intention of integrity. So anything that could potentially stand to come against you, you know, is really of no match, and only just a new challenge to face, you know, to further your experience and further your journey, your life's journey in some productive way. You don't have to agonize or try to overthink the process any more than you allow yourself to just trust it, you know, as you trust yourself. Trust the process as you can trust yourself. All right. Let's see what that is. There was the star again, and there's strength. Yeah, okay, so this is like, I'm seeing this as like a balance of your energy by way of the strength card. So sometimes this card to me can be like a struggle or a juggle, but to me this is someone that can literally, this is like the infinity sign, you know, like you can literally maintain this vibration eternally on account of all that I just said and on account of your own strength. You don't have to worry about what's ahead. You don't have to worry about what you have and what you don't, as the lower vibration of this card would be worried about resources. If you have the Ace of Pentacles and divine love is on your side, you have the angelic forces at your every beck and call. You literally got Jesus on the main line, and you can tell her what you want. What is there to worry about? You know, that's an energy, a vibration that itself is eternal, because as long as you're willing to submit yourself to the source and surrender to the process, you'll never lose, you know, you can never lose heavenly resources. You know, those are never ending, as the cup is always overflowing, as this Ace of Pentacles is an endless seed of abundance. You never have to worry about it'll be more of, what I'm hearing is more of a juggle than a struggle, almost having too much money to spend, almost having too much love, too many blessings, you know, so much in your under your authority as the Empress, like so many businesses, you know, to maintain that. It's always going to be a balancing act in a sense, but not in a negative way. This is about balancing your energy, and which is a positive thing when you are dealing with upgrades and promotions and increases in your material life, to just stay grounded, not to allow the material essence to overpower you, or to you know, to project anything untrue about you, you know, that isn't justified, but to allow it to continue to just fuel your creativity, you know, that let it be endless. Don't, because the only thing that we could do to stop such a prosperous read is to get in our own head, you know, get in our own way by being stuck in our head, which is the lower octave of that Four of Swords, where you're so stressed out about what's next, and what you don't know, what you do know, what to do, where you're going, who's going to be there, how you're going to get there, that then you start to this card begins to be a low vibrational, almost scarcity energy, because you're never feeling secure. There it is, secure in your own vibration. But I very much see it as much as a caution as it is a reassurance that as long as you stay high in vibe, you know, stay connected to source, and grounded in what is real, you know, and what truly matters, not matter itself, but what truly matters. This energy will just, it'll be a good problem to have too many businesses to manage, you know, or I should say too many, so many businesses to manage, to have so many partnerships to, you know, to share your energy with, so many partnerships and projects, to have so much money. You're like, here, you take this, it's almost like it's more of a challenge as to how you can spend it than it is what you have to spend. That's, to me, those are called good problems to have, and I'm here for it. And the Strength card is just, not only is this solidifying that Leo energy that I was talking about in the essence of the wildflowers, and us really just expressing ourselves, you know, fully and courageously and unapologetically. It's also directing us to the energy that you must already possess to have even been in this position of upgrade and elevation in the first place. Just continue to, you know, keep that beast at bay, and in this state, I would say to keep pride you know, keep pride in its place. You know, good pride is always prosperous. You know, there's nothing wrong with being proud of your accomplishments, and, you know, being sure of what you have to offer. But we know the other pride, the pride that cometh before the fall, you know, when you have elevated yourself as superior to others in some unjustified way, or when you think you have something to prove, whether it be to yourself, to society, to friends, to co-workers, whomever, you know, to any audience, when you feel like there's something to prove to someone that's out of alignment with who you are innately. That's the pride that we want to keep that lion's mouth shut. And here also the synergy here with the infinity sign, infinite strength. Truly, you know, that's what you have access to, especially when you're connected to all these higher vibrational elements intentionally. When we get stuck in our lower natures, which I think is more of the struggle here, when we're too, you know, weighed down by our carnal nature exclusively, that's when the imbalance is created, and that's when we start to worry about whether we have enough, whether we are enough, whether we have enough likes, enough followers, enough money, you know, enough friends, enough power. Those are the things that if we don't keep that beast at bay and keep it in its place, it'll eat us alive. But you have the strength. You're the Empress. You got it. You got this. You are the Empress. I'm not taking any of that. You saw how that slid off. And that is not the vibration that we are on today. Nope, that's poverty and being not left out in the cold, and ain't nobody here for that. And here he go, like, oh, really? Yep, you're the magician, you're the alchemist. You can make something out of anything. Even out, and this is speaking to the lower natures that I was talking about, like when we get stuck in our carnal beings, which are not altogether demonic. Let me be clear, like it's nothing wrong with passion. It's nothing wrong with satisfaction. We are sensational beings. It's nothing wrong with enjoying your life, to the fullest of the material extent by which you are obviously or will obviously be blessed to do so. It's when we are, again, imbalanced in those sensations, when we are allowing them to roll over us and predict and project our path, as opposed to as that strength card is kind of keeping the beast in its place, in its cage, in a sense. So that means not overindulging and partying or any of those sensations that we love, even eating or shopping, having all this money and power and influence. It's a great power to manage here with this Two of Pentacles. It's a mighty force here to manage in a physical sense, because everything about the world will direct you in a way that is exactly to, leading you into this energy and onto this path, to be obsessive, to be possessive, to be overindulgent, to, be resistant to, to dwell in I ain't even gonna name them spirits, because we know those spirits that don't add value, that are not productive, they're more destructive in their force. But this here is the Magician, and this is the Queen of Swords, where it's a clear indication that not only are you able to literally manifest any outcome that you would like to, materially, you will also do so in integrity, period. And no matter what adversity should arise, whether it be within you or externally, oppositionally, you are maintaining this position of authority. The Queen of Swords is honorable. She's integral. She's a logical thinker. She's almost a genius level of creativity and intelligence, in the highest vibration. She knows exactly what to accept and exactly what to deny, in terms of the truth of the sword that she wields. And the Magician can take anything that comes to that court and make magic with it. You can take any energetic, and it also speaks to this energy here when I was saying, like, to be able to just eternally manifest. That's what I'm getting here. Like when I was going on and on about it being a continuous juggling of energy, a good problem to have, this is definitely speaking to that force where you are eternally able to manifest, to bring things to life, new visions, new perspectives, new ideas. You like really being a pioneer in whatever it is that you do. Like there's always some freshness, some ingenuity. That's what I'm hearing to it. It doesn't get old, it doesn't get stale, it's not stagnant. And look, he has, oh my goodness, yeah, this infinity sign, he has it too. So that's the perfect synergy. It's always free flowing, always, it's ever evolving with the universe. That means having a business that knows how to grow with its demand, or knows how to evolve with the needs of, this of society, or whomever you serve, or whatever you serve, whatever you do, be, whether it is even being an artist, always being ingenious about your creativity, whether it be a singer, a writer, actor, like always that artist that always knows how to reinvent. There it is, reinvent his or herself, back to that star card vibe. This is amazing. That always knows how to reinvent his or herself to be in alignment with the evolution of the universal audience. Not the adverse of that, especially with this devil card here, is shape-shifting for some material return. So for instance, when you are sacrificing, your true passion and the authenticity of your creativity to do something that is just completely not in alignment with who you truly are, but that is popular. That's the opposite. That's the simple and primitive ways that we can sometimes get stuck in our lower nature and become imbalanced, because you're not satisfying your spirit or your soul by answering to the crowd, or the societal standards, or the popular by popular demand. It's really about creativity for creation for creativity's sake. And when you're purely, upright as the Queen of Swords, and then tapped in with the Queen of Cups, and knowing that you make your own lane as the Empress and willing to move forward in it, and knowing you have all the gifts to do so, when you have all of that self-awareness embodied in a balanced way, you can literally do anything. Like your career, your creativity will be endless as this Ace of Cups, because you are tapped in to what is organic to you. Back to those wildflowers. They were not trying to bend for me, honey. It was like, you gonna take what we giving or not at all. Now, in the creative sense, it goes into being tapped in and aligned, because one who is in tune to what they're offering knows how to shift with what is both desirable and what is also righteous to the creator. There doesn't have to be a sacrifice, just a surrendering to whatever is called for, and that expression that audience will find its way to you, and you will find your way to that audience just by the authenticity that you embody, So yeah, I think that's great. I'm gonna let that go. Because I'm getting a little long-winded. Let's get two more and then I'm out. Okay. And this is just you waiting for your ships to come in continuously, like always in a space of expectation for something good to come, back to the Fool's journey, or always even ready to take that next journey forward, whatever it might be, like sitting on go, pretty much. Or what do they say, sitting on ready? Is that the word? Is that the phrase? Always in expectation, not in entitlement. There's a difference. Expectation is a position of worthiness. When you're assured of what you are expressing, what you have expelled into the world and the value of it, so that you can always expect a great return. The card before this is the Two of Wands, which is about planning and taking some plan of action, taking a higher road of action, even in a sense, and a higher decision, making a higher powered decision towards some desired outcome. When you're always in that position to be looking for a way to be active, to be creative, to be a positive influence, to be an inspiration, even is what I hear with the wand cards. You can always expect a positive return. The return is endless. You'll never be begging for seed or bread when you are integral about who you are, what you create, and that being the basis of what you are deserving of or worthy to receive. You're ready for anything in that position, and you'll take any journey in faith. If you gotta leave everything behind and start all over again, you still would do it in the same vibration with joy and with faith, because you know the value of, you know that you are the value of the creativity. It's you that makes the difference, you know, because of all of this other energy. It's not the material world. Like I said, you could have nothing and lose it all and have to rebuild again. You would do so joyfully because you're self-assured as to who you are and the power that you submit to. That's awesome. One more card, let it be good. so I could close out strong. Give us one more card, Spirit. One more card. Too many. Look, Sun card on the top. That's nice to see him out. After all that talk about Leo. Come on, give me one card. Spirit said, don't be rushing me. There's that again. That came out earlier, but it didn't flip all the way out. I guess it was sure that it needed to be out. Perfect. And here's back to that journey again. This is beautiful. Always being willing to learn new things, to have new experiences, to be teachable. You know, as the Bible speaks about being as little children, you know, to always be teachable and be joyful about your journey. Always, you know, kids are just, they don't really care too much for the most part, you know, as long as it's going to be fun, and they always have an expectation for it to be fun, even when that's not necessarily what's going to be happening. That's always their mindset. And for more or less, they're always open and excited to learn something new, to have some new adventure. That's the energy that we are being encouraged to maintain, no matter how elevated, ascended, transcended, rich, righteous, famous, powerful we become. If we can maintain this energy here, that's what ultimately keeps this wheel flowing, this wheel of prosperity going. That no matter what we encounter, we'll always be on the glass is full, or at least half full, perspective of life. And as I like to say, you literally can do anything with that energy to start with. And this is the promise of it all here, that you becoming so stabilized in your journey, you know, individually, having stood some test of time, having you know, overcome some great feats, you know, to sit in the Empress position and beat 2 Queen of Cups and 2 major arcanas here with the ace and the, well, 2 aces here, and then major arcanas with the Chariot and the Magician card. Like, this is the 4 of Wands, which is about balance in your partnerships. And I can feel that both from an intimate perspective and from a professional perspective, or I should say a personal perspective or an intimate perspective. Is that what I'm trying to say? You know what I'm trying to say. It doesn't have to be limited to love, although we led with the high value love card. It's more so about who you attract and how you attract those that are going to be in connection to the things that you're creating, that soul tribe of yours that you're attracting, that's really going to help you maintain this value along the journey. That's going to make it fun. Hopefully, you know, if you're attracting the right people, it should be people that you actually enjoy taking the journey with, enjoy celebrating the fruits of your labor with, celebrating life with. And that, like I said, that can be one-to-one partnership, or it could literally be the representation of business partners, creative counterparts, you know, things that you invest in, businesses or professionals that invest in you, or just even commingling. Doesn't even have to be like an actual investment in a material sense, but the people that you're rubbing elbows with, though, that iron sharpens iron type of vibration, like really surrounding yourself, because you're vibing so high, with people that help you to maintain that frequency and really even fuel it to the next level, because you all have some synergy of the experiences that you've overcome, and some, some synchronized focus, more or less, on how you would like to surge ahead. That's a beautiful experience of life, a wonderful high value quality of life, to have overcome so much. And now this is exactly in alignment too, because I was saying that sometimes this could be struggling or it could just be juggling, and this is the balance of it all, to be victorious, successful, having a positive work-life balance, having home be happy and healthy, having sacred and sound relationships in every sense of the word, and of course, back to square one, being whole and complete just in your own individual self, being the star that you are and attracting everything in to that force is the idea. All right. So last time I didn't want to turn over the top because I was afraid I was going to mess up the reading, but I'm so glad I did. This is a whole new world. Oh, with new horizons to pursue. This is definitely a great reading. This is like the end of an old cycle and the total turn of a page of a new one. This is everything that I've been talking about, literally embarking upon a new way of living, experiencing life, experiencing yourself in life, experiencing others in your life, and even creating life in a completely different way than you ever have before, than you've ever experienced before. And it being a very high vibrational experience, because that's, in this essence, that's exactly what the World card is here for. It's new. And then look, Judgment, that it's like, Judgment card is like a resurrection in a sense, like a rebirth, a renewal of life experience in the earth as it is ordained from an ethereal perspective. This is you being a yes to that journey holistically, literally surrendering to it in the most sensational way with this wand energy, and allowing yourself to be one with it and allowing it to be one with you, following your angelic guidance, following the signs and synchronicities that are speaking to you all the time. Maybe once upon a time you didn't pay that stuff any mind, but now you embrace your new level of spiritual sensitivity to your surroundings, and you allow it to lead you and guide you in ways that, yes, sometimes feels a little strange. It feels a little, a little unnerving, a little, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not normal. It's not how we've been conditioned or reconditioned, because our natural sense is to actually do that, to be more spiritually sensational. But now, as you're experiencing yourself in new power and creativity and inspiration, you're taking that energy with you and allowing it to lead you into this brave new world of sorts that is magical, no doubt. As long as you are carrying the essence of magic, that is what you are creating ahead of you. All right. So with that being said, I definitely, wish you a wonderful day. I almost don't want to touch the cards again for fear of having anything less than this high vibration of a reading, but I may come back a little later, maybe do a little quiet storm, tarot after dark or something. I've been dying to do something like that, but we'll see. In any event, I think this is a powerful message to carry us through, not just today, but throughout whatever new life's journey you're embarking upon right now. And I just pray that it be a joyful one for you indeed, in spirit and in truth. It is so, and so it is. Till next time, peace.